really good in this early stage.
Matty Guerin emerges with the footy. Sends it to a 2-on-2. Bounced off the chest of Moody. Flying through Chera. Gives it over the top. And here's a chance for the Blues. The kick from Skepper. And goes through for a behind.
It was a nice change from the Blues from half back. If you get Keely Skepper on her own inside forward 52 often, you'll pay the ultimate price. Didn't on that occasion, but 3 goals last week for Skepper. Very important in that win against the Dockers.
I think Carlton will get a few of those looks of an old open goal square because Dogs to match Carlton inside are going to have to send numbers in and try and make it really congested.
In 2 minds was Gorham, but steadies. And they can go around the other side, the outer side. And a fumble over the line for Bennett's. Elle Bennett's the 35-year-old. Back from an ACL in her career. Crowd still coming in, which is good to see despite the early rain. Good. McKay. Usually great vision. This time Pritchard with the intercept and set upon.
So you've got to keep an eye on Matty Guerin if you're the Dogs around these contests. She's the real go-forward player. Get it, just send the ball forward or run and find that release target.
Chera looked to the boundary line and went there. Probably saved in the end by Fitzgerald, her teammate. Keeps it back in. Cordner, stripped of it. Picked up by Gutnick. Fitzgerald, quick. Bennett's spitting into trouble. Umpire says play on. Pound. Well entitled to ask the question. Still a loose ball to be won here. Fitzgerald again in the congestion. Centering kick. Hartwig couldn't take it. Follows up with a tackle. Flicked out in a hurried kick and up and under. The defensive spoil from Skepper from behind. Still a ball to be won. And Chera, who kicked the match winner last week against the Dockers in Fremantle. Keely Chera.
She's had a great year. Keely should probably be leading their best and fairest, you'd reckon.
Pritchard gone. What can the Doggies set up here? Oh, it slips through the hands of Lawson Tavern. Good work done by Finn. Kick out wide, puts it out in front of Brown, but it tumbles away from her. Tani Brown, the former Collingwood player.
A better defensive look by the Dogs. They were one-on-one all over the ground then, so it looks like Tam Hyatt has said, stick to your one-on-ones, get the job done on your individual opponent. So the Blues looked up then and there was no free player to go to.
So they haven't set them up back early. Moody fires it off. Almost to Brown. Toe poked off the turf. Under the pump is Georgia Stathis. She overruns it. Wheeling in a risky kick, but sliding in and taking a wonderful mark is Gorham. Well done.
Push your hearts in your mouth for your coach on that occasion. Yep. Didn't even look, just kicked it back into the corridor. Thankfully for the Dogs, Gorham was there.
Cleo Butterfin it was that got the kick away. And now Woodley tries to set something up for the Doggies. Edmonds is always the target. Dashing away. Interesting looking handball. Comes off. They're still going at it. Karathas. Pritchard on the left. Flying in from the side was Grigg. Couldn't impact the contest. Now Ferris back in the team. Well done by Karathas. High one-on-one. Can the Doggies get a chance here? Swooping is Woodley. Snapping is Woodley. And for the first time in October, the Bulldogs have got a goal.
Well, it was a great play by the Doggies, and you see the whole team there celebrating, and why not? It was a great build-up play going from end to end, and they just didn't panic in the contest. They always had numbers turning up defensive side of the contest. They knew they could feed back to their numbers, and they didn't mess around with it either.
And for Doggies fans, let's show the Chemist Warehouse replay, because their last goal was 11 minutes into their last quarter against Sydney in week 5, which was the 27th of September.
That's a good stat, Cal. You've been keeping that one. Didn't tell us that one pre-game. Great result for the Doggies. They're enjoying it. every moment. And as you said before, it's the one-on-one mentality that I think they're appreciating, Rubes. Go and beat your opponent. I mean, that's the very core and essence of footy, isn't it? You're playing on an opponent, go and beat them and show them how good you are. Just got to get all that out, Heidi, next time. But it's great. Great work from Al Bennett's too, to just provide enough protection and time for her to get the ball into the boot.
Pritchard, Fitzgerald, the clean players getting involved early. Gorman. Trapping it is Fitzgerald. And a fine kick. Gets it to Moody, inside 50 it goes. Umpire outside of the boot, the banana was a fresh airy, but having another crack at it is Brown, and it's a juggling mark, not quite to Moody. In the goal square, it's a scramble, and the umpire will blow her whistle.
So just a reminder, Darcy Vesio out. You see Emilio Villado there in the little top knot with number 1 on the back for the Blues and for a first game for the season.
Moody flicks it out. Quick hands. Chance. Snap. Touched. Hacked out of there. Still a chance though. Georgia Stathis, was that off her shin? The question was asked by Fitzgerald.
So we get a wide shot here of the 50. You see the Bulldogs got 13 in their own defensive 50 at the moment, but that's because Carlton pushed numbers in. You see Villado on screen there, he's into the team tonight. So a lot of numbers in, but Carlton are initiating that as much as the Bulldogs are. So I don't mind that when that happens, with the opposition to make you do it.
Lily Goss, it's a good-looking kick. A lovely strike, but just a little bit skinny.
And you'll see, and you'll be doing that at Collingwood as well, Roots, when you're out there and there's a held-up ball just outside the arc, just inside the arc. They'll set up their defensive press, which is off trying to lock the ball inside forward 50. You'll go with them and a number off as well. So the same rules apply for everyone in that regard.
Absolutely.
Fitzgerald has a bit of a run and then delivers beautifully to Bennett. This is a better exit out of the defensive 50. Hurried kick into space. The foot race is on. Who can get there first? Ferris is involved. So too Greg. And a big tackle. It'll be a baller.
Lane Gregg has been such a great addition into this Dogs forward line. She just absolutely goes at it all day, and the speed of her as well. Why wouldn't you just try kick it ahead and allow her to get to work? Because if she doesn't win it, she's going to put on a tackle that creates the next stoppage.
Well done by Fitzgerald. She was the one that wrapped Goss up in the tackle. Great start by her. She's a confidence player, Jess Fitzgerald. Promises, certainly at times. No doggies flew in the air. Here's a chance for another one. Weston Turner gets it off, and a quick snap from Smith. Doesn't have the required distance. Fitzgerald mops up.
So now Carlton got 15 or 13 in their defensive 50. So that's what happens when you've got slow play. Teams do get numbers back. That's a natural reaction.
Just a replay. Surely that was a shove in the back to Hartwig. Would have been a set shot in front. A little unlucky for the Dogs. But they've got the first major of the night. Villado. Tackling Grant. There's Amelia Villado. First game for the Blues for the season. Good. Out towards McKay. Nice work, Carruthers. Bennett's handball was smothered. Cordner. Hill. The give and go and the awareness to get it out to Peterson, to Cordner. They've mucked around with it here too much. That's holding the ball. No, it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Well done, the Bulldogs forward line then. That pressure is what sets up a team and sets the intensity of the team. When you see your forwards working that hard to create a stoppage inside forward 50.
It was Gutnick applying that tackle, but Greg was involved, buzzing around as well.
Big numbers there to do it, Ruth.
Absolutely.
Goss reads it best off hands. Straight down the throat of the opposition. Yep, and it's Gorman. Gorham, apologies.
She had a good start.
She has.
Maggie, she's doing a good job in the back half. So it's Jess Fitzgerald. This is disposal number 8.
Yeah, this is brilliant. This is what the Dogs need. Players like Jess Fitzgerald to lift, and so too Carruthers, who's been busy. Dom.
And look at that, just trying to
Gives
cut.
it off to Fitzgerald. Back to Carruthers, tries the sidestep, runs into trouble. That's holding the ball.
Well done, Bree Moody.
Well, there's overusing the footy, that's one thing. And in these sort of conditions, I think you just don't need to overuse the footy when you're at the top of the 50. Get it in, give your forwards a chance.
Oh, Georgia Suthers has given away the free, unfortunately. A little too keen. This is Ortler.
First game last week.
Yeah, a good inclusion half.
Yeah, she did a good job against Freo. Big body around the ball. Plays sort of a similar role to Eliza West. Gets it, feeds it out to the runners.
Yep, there she was getting involved again. A tackle and it spilled free. Olado getting involved with the tackle as well.
Leicester, they're going to get the ball back here, the Blues, for a handball out of bounds.
Just pokes it. That was brave. Well done by Riley Wilcox, floating across in front.
She's tough, isn't she?
She's up for it tonight.
Yeah, she really is setting the standard about how to compete physically and put yourself in some dangerous spots. Well done.
19-year-old setting the standard half.
Yeah, love to have them. I love those ones.
Playing that deep, well, the wing roll where she was rolling back and plugging that hole. That's brave, especially for a player with a small stature. Pritchard. Ortler got her, and Ortler making her presence felt.
College basketball up. Come to footy in the last couple of years, evolved very well.
Taylor Ortler, and the kick was precise, and it's hit Celine Moody on the chest.
Well, Moody actually wasn't even looking at the ball then. She'd initially given a lead. She wasn't hit on that lead, and then has run back to try and block for a player, and she turns around at the right time and it just lands in her chest. So a beautiful kick to a not so suspecting Moody.
So Celine was dropped last week, brought back into play against her old club. She'd love a goal against the former team, and she salutes.
Yeah, spot on, Roops. It was an awkward passage of play, but it turns out really well for the Blues. In the end, with that goal to Moody, she was, as you said, Cal coming across against her old players. Look at there, number 8, clearly screamed. Wasn't even looking. Must have heard someone say something and turned around, and it lands on her chest. But more importantly for the Blues, she goes back and slots it and just gets some level of momentum back going their way at the start of this contest. Nice finish. Well done.
So the poor thing missed her twin sisters' milestone game, 75th last week in Perth, but back in tonight, and with no Darcy Vesio out there tonight because of concussion, Bree Moody equals the club's all-time games record holder with a 76th game tonight. So draws level with Darcy. Goss, Carruthers got her. Oh, lovely sidestep by the skipper in Berry, asking a lot of her teammate Weston Turner. Coming in and helping out. Greig. Smith involved. Here they go, the Dogs. Oh, a chance for Woodley. She does get her kick away, and then it skittles straight through the legs. Oh no, here's a chance. McKee back in the team, and Ferris dribbles it through. McKee and Ferris, the two inclusions this week. I don't know how they did it, but they did.
Well, it was a goal that almost didn't happen. Half and I were scratching our heads with the decision to kick at the top of the 50 rather than give it to the teammate and Jazz Smith running past. They had a couple options to give it to as we see this play here. The give and go, Weston Turner puts on the Jets and they've got numbers, but she decides to turn and kick, but they really made something of nothing then. We see it go between the legs of Goody, and just well done to keep the ball in play and be able to get it on the boot here.
Oh, it's a mare for Dana Finn there. She's got to take that over the line. Do whatever you have to do. Burrow underground and take it over if you have to. That's got to go across the line. She was under pressure. Would have been no issue from a free kick perspective. And that's a gimme for the Dogs.
Tough week for the coach. Tam Hyatt made the decision at selection to bring 2 in and drop 2. She brought in McKee and Ferris, and they just combined for a goal. They're second of the game. This is better stuff from the Bulldogs. Berry bustling through and then just hacks it forward. over the head of Greg, but she'll have another crack at it. Interesting tussle with Pound tonight. Sliding in McKay. Wilcox. Flung as she got the kick away. Pound had it. Greg right there, ready to jump on her. And very happy to see it over.
That'll be a great battle between Pound and Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, young, exciting forward, lightning fast, and Pound, the experienced defender. Can be a really interesting battle as we see a pretty big bump
Got a root
laid
shock
here.
here. She got a root shock.
Yeah.
Greg was coming hard.
All-Australian Gab Pound back in 2019.
Sure that's not Tommy Elvin? Are we sure that's not Tommy?
Edmonds in front. Pritchard a fumble. Carruthers. Berry. Edmonds scoops it. Wilcox. Promising. No one can grab it. McKee's got it. Under the pump is Cordner. And bearing down on her was Christy Lee Weston Turner.
Again, the Dogs just happy to feed the hands back. They have that representation at the back of the stoppage and then get that ball forward, trust the one-on-ones, and now they're getting a stoppage inside forward 50, close to goal.
So the Dogs are 17th for handballs in competition. Carlton are third. Dogs have had 31. Carlton have had 27. So this is a clear decision to try and beat them at their own game and control the ball a bit more and not just kick it and hope and cough it up on the way back.
You like it, Half?
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we've seen the results, haven't we? 7 inside 50s to 5. Contested possessions, they're matching them as well, 27 to 26. Again, Carlton are third in the league. The Dogs are 18th, so it's a big step up for the Dogs tonight.
Pressure's been brilliant.
Some really impressive numbers coming out for the Doggies so far tonight. 13 tackles. They're 18th in the competition. That's a good number.
Greg and Pound. Everyone stands back and says, I'm not getting involved, just let those two go for it. So they've kept it locked deep in their attacking 50. Good eventually has her say, pushes them aside and bombs up long. Moody launches from the side. Grant, gone. Guerin got her. Maddie Guerin. That was a brilliant tackle by Butterfant, playing her 8th game for her season. So it's been the young guns that have set the tone for the Doggies. And at quarter time, they've kicked 2 goals. That is the breaking news. 2 straight 12 to 1 for 10.
And welcome in everybody in the house. Welcome in. Harvey, g'day there, Squire. Bianca, Addie G, what's up? Ryan, and of course, Annie. What's going on, everybody? Everybody in the house. Can you believe it? The Western Bulldogs, well, they are in front. That's something you don't often see. Really strange. But there we go. The Dogs, 2 straight goals, 12. Carlton, inaccuracy, 1 for 10. I'm all out of breath. Sleeping, typing, that all in. Holy moly. Annie, you're doing a good job. You'll have to put a course out there how to do all that type of stuff. Just before we go anywhere, let's just have a look at the ladder, where these teams are on the ladder. You turn the live ladder off prior to this game. And of course, Carlton there sitting on 12 points. They need to win this game to keep their season alive. And of course, Western Bulldogs, their season, even if they win this, is in the doghouse, so to speak. I think their season's over. They just need to get a victory and try and get a little bit of good run happening. Make them feel good. There we go. But Carlton. All right, let's have a look at the stats. Leading possession getter out there. Jessica Fitzgerald there leading the way on 9, 6 kicks, 3 handballs, 2 marks, 1 tackle there. Hey, oh, Tine. Mikolov, shout out. The manager is in the house. Shout out, shout out. There we go. For the Doggies, Dominique Carruthers next best on 8 for the Dogs. Brina Mooney and Abby Mackay. They're top on the table for the Blue Baggers, both with 7 each. Naomi Ferris, there we go, 4 possessions. She's kicked a sausage roll. Heidi Woodley also kicked a goal. She snagged one of them off her 3 disposals, 3 kicks. There we go. Let's just roll down here and we'll come across the other goal scorer. Who was the other one? Celine Moody. 1 kick, 1 goal for the Blues. There we go. You can't get much better than that, can you, folks? Let's go and quickly have a look at the team stats before we head back down to the ground. Well, the Dogs, they're up by 8 disposals overall. But there we go. There we go. 6 more kicks, 2 more handballs. 7 inside 50s for the Doggies for their 2 scoring shots. Carlton, 5 inside 50s for 5 scoring shots. You can't do better than that. 5 out of 5. You just got to kick a little bit more accurate. The Bulldogs, though, disposal efficiency around the ground, 74. It's pretty good. Carlton a little bit low there. Oh, look at that. Efficiency inside 50. You don't often see that. That's just unheard of. But 100%, 42. There we go. Free kicks, 5-2. Carlton by a couple there. Hit-outs all square. Clearance is pretty much even. The centre clearance is Doggies dominating there. Woof, woof. Doggies all the way. Stoppage clearances, Carlton by 2. Contested possessions, doing it pretty even there. Uncontested. Well, Bulldogs just had the ball. They just simply had the ball, created a little bit of space there. It was good. Had a little bit of composure. Hitting up their targets. Fantastic. That being said, though, they did turn over the ball. Nearly twice as many as Carlton in their in that time. Marks, Dogs on top, 12-5. Anyway, that's enough for me. Let's get back down to the ground of the commentators and they'll take us into the second term, where it's the Dogs by 2 points.
Schleicher, Daniel Harford, take us through some of the numbers.
Yeah, well, Dogs are actually matching Carlton in contested possession at the moment. The Dogs are ranked 18th in the league for contested possession and the Blues 3rd. So Tam Hyatt's gone through with a clear game plan to match them in this area.
And she's had a tough week. Let's duck into the huddle from a few moments ago with Tam Hyatt.
Stick to our methods. They are working for us, okay? Little things to tighten up on is making sure we're pairing off with a little bit more intent and take away those little chips.
So what we saw last week and nobody liked it, so they've done something about it. So credit to them for taking a stand on it and trying to change.
Terrific mark by Kimber, Kaylee Kimber. Kick to Edmonds, should be able to take that in the air. At ground level, she's been so good.
She'll be disappointed she dropped that.
Yeah, not on this occasion. I think the face says disappointed, doesn't it?
Pretty flat.
There's a lot of things.
Disappointment's probably a positive. Oh, that's a good mark. That's better. Well done, Georgia Stathis. Short to Berry. Knew that the opposition was coming. Protected the body well. Protected the ball.
Good kick.
Yeah. Wilcox almost juggled it. Edmonds and Wilcox are there. Riley says, leave it for me. Spears it down the line. Skittles McKee.
No touch, so the Blues will get this, but that's good by the Doggies' Roos. A couple of drop marks early would have been nice to just hold on to them.
Absolutely, and the effort from Berry as well. She hit that kick.
Yeah, Cordner. That's an up and under, out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick to the Dogs. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Well, it's a good point you make, Half. Not one Blues player outside of defensive 50 at the moment. 16 Blues inside D50. So even if they win that ball, they've got no one to kick it to and exit the ball through.
Here's the top draft pick. Christy Lee Weston Turner. Can she make the ball curl around? Not quite. Not quite enough. 3 goals, 2 this season from her 5 games so far. They need the ball in her hands more, Half, don't they?
Yeah, well, she's got to find her groove a bit. She's athletic, really athletic player. I like the way she moves. It doesn't. You just watch her play, Rubes. She just doesn't have the body confidence at the moment to take the forward line by the throat.
Just 19 and still very lean.
Well, they're out here.
Here's a chance. Pouncing on it is Anthony. Loops it over the top. A chance for Goss. Goss is tackled brilliantly. Well done by the Doggies. Bit of feeling in that tackle as well.
Explain how hard that is to do, Rubes, in that situation?
Well, when you're running one out to goal and your player's in front of you, it is that difficult not to either fall in her back, tackle her high, and she's done it absolutely perfectly there to not give away a free kick in a certain goal.
It was Elle Bennett's, the experienced player, former Giants player. Fantastic. They're under the pump. Pritchard tries to intercept it. Lawson Taverner up and under. That mark shouldn't be paid. It was touched. Good finally realises that. Gives it off to McKay, who spirals it out of bounds. They're off. The Blues, they're off tonight. They're out of sorts. Coming back from the West. That narrow win over Fremantle last week just to breathe a bit of life into their season. Georgia Stathis. Not sure if that kick was intended, but it got there eventually to Pritchard.
Fifth disposal coming up for Iz. Love that from McKay. Straight through. Pick it up, drive through. Brilliant stuff.
Hill. Almost got it back to McKay. Still the tumbling kick. Huge pack. Off the pack. Off hands is Shearer. Another great tackle. Goes unrewarded. But the Dogs emerge with the footy. Out wide to Cox, who's caught.
It's a good matchup between Pritchard and Shearer. Shearer, well, both of them just the 5 possessions, so probably quieter than usual for the two of them. But I feel Pritchard having probably a bigger effect with those 5 possessions.
Pritchard, Georgia Stathis, wheels around. Tumbling ball. Peterson's there. Beating her to it, though, was Hartwig. Gutnick. Back to Hartwig. She's a lefty. Throws it on the boot. Griggle down here. Unkind bounce. She's got all the time in the world, though, Mimi Hill. Loops it up to Cordner. And then wide to Fitzgerald. They should be able to set something up. Oh, it's stolen by Grigg.
Just wait now.
Waits for the runners. What are our options? The only option down inside 50, or Ferris is going to come late. It was Gutnick. And they've worked it down there. They're without Maddie Gearin at the moment. Let's get down to Bryony with an update.
Yeah, she came off a few minutes ago. She was being seen to by the physio on her right ankle. She's had it strapped and she went straight back on. So I don't think she's got any issues there at all.
Got a flat ball. That's our issue at the moment, Kel. It's no good for footy, a flat ball.
That's what happened in our game a couple of weeks ago, and it was luckily only 10 seconds left, but Lewis Cronin had the ball and they said, nah, doesn't matter, just keep going.
So Guerin's back on's gone forward for the Blues.
Although she's got it across half back here. Off to Guerin. Watch her go. She's classy, and Velado on the end of a long lead. Slides in. That was a brilliant passage of play. Amelia Velado. Late inclusion with no Darcy Vesio there. Moody's the target. Austin. Can she get the handball over the top to Brown? She can't.
Still post-up play from Brie Moody there. Just get to the top of the square, back in against your opponent, and the kick comes in just in front of you. It's like basketball. You'd be all over that, Roops.
Absolutely. Although I don't mind Amelia Velado from that far out. She's got a big boot on her, so I'm surprised she actually
Gets it down to Shearer. And Shearer with the snap. Keely Shearer, the match winner last week, backs it up with another goal.
Well, it's well done. We just spoke about her, said that she'd been probably a little quiet to her standards. The 6 disposals and a goal now to add to that. So we know she's been such a barometer for this Blues outfit this season. As you said, probably leading their best and fairest at this point. She's been a tagger prior, but we just see her read the ball here and beautiful finish.
And a Blues goal is exactly what the doctor ordered as we get down on the boundary to Mariana Anthony. Mariana, you desperately needed that one.
Yes, we did. That was really awesome. Classic Keely, scoring us a goal at like a clutch time. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Mariana, we heard the coach was a bit fired up at quarter time. Is that what you needed to get things going in the second term?
Yeah, definitely. I think he was a little bit disappointed with the way that we let the opposition get quite a few uncontested marks in that first quarter. So I think he's fired us up. We want to go out now and just hunt it and just stop them from getting those marks and hopefully just put it back on our territory.
What was the main way he said that you guys would be able to get back up on top in this game?
I think it's just our hunger to be first to the ball and also just to defend first. So coming forward, stopping them from getting any overlaps and easy marks and just keep pressing forward.
Thanks, Mariana. We'll let you get back out there.
All right, thanks, guys.
Great insight from the Blues bench. Taken high by Skepper.
You can understand Matthew Buck's frustration. The key points of his game plan, handballs and contested possession, and they're being matched in both of those at the moment.
Kick inside 50, the target was Gutnick.
So it's 12-5 uncontested marks in that first term in favour of the Dogs. That's what Mariana was talking about, the angst from the coach at quarter time.
McKee, brothers, taken to ground. It was Grigg, and it's a free kick going to the Blues. Finn's got it. Here's Smith for the Dogs. She's going to send it back inside 50 again. Crashing the pack was Hardwick. Grigg fires it out, misses the target. Bennett's on the left, front position, a chance for the Doggies. Off hands. Oh, corners wrapped up by Gutnick. Massive. Harriet would have loved it.
It's a good contest, wasn't it? One-on-one.
Grigg at the back. Gives the handball away. There's a bit of space here for Bennett. Doesn't have enough curl on it. It's going to land still in play off hands. Good result for the Dogs.
Yeah, best result for the Dogs. This ball will land 20 metres out, basically directly in the corridor. So a real chance to find some space, put a block on for someone running through, get a quick score.
She's been peppering Elle, hasn't kicked a goal. Well, just didn't kick a goal, rather, last season. 2 goals it was this year. Berry goes to ground. They fly. Moody got a hand to it. McKee making her presence felt up forward. Charging through. Here's a chance for Grant. Even better smother was absolutely brilliant. I think it was Celine Moody. Woodley wheels around. What sort of bounce is it? Oh, it's almost skittled them all and gone through for a goal.
So the Blues again committing lots of numbers at 16 in the defensive 50 again.
Oh, this is a risky kick and it's chopped off by the Energizer Bunny in Jasmine Smith.
It's Kelly Skepper. She'd like that one back into the corridor on the left foot. She rolled in, looking for a teammate clearly, but off the side of the boot a bit. Jazz Smith now looks too far at the score, we think.
She thinks she is. She's looking to give it off. Hasn't kicked a goal for the Dogs this year in her first year. Off hands. Oh, almost a second crack at it. And a goal. Well done by the skipper. Berry. Beautiful. Dogs have got 3.
Well, she's been working hard, Deanna Berry. Just the 5 disposals, but now adds a goal to that as well. But she's been involved in a lot of plays that have resulted in forward half opportunities for the Dogs. We saw Smith's come forward mark, which was excellent and created our Medibank mind-blowing moment. Just a beautiful read by Deanna Berry and a nice little celebration there. We might have to ask her at some stage what that was for. We know you love a Celly, Kel.
Yeah, that's got to be a nomination for the Celly of the Week.
It's just well done. She just gets herself in the right spots.
She did. Yeah, she does. It's been a tough year for her as well. Injected into the captaincy, probably a little unexpected, and has led under difficult circumstances. Good to see her get on the scoreboard. How do the Blues respond here? I mean, they're clinging on to finals. It's really their percentage that's going to hurt them. So
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think a loss here, it'll snuff out any hope whatsoever. Pritchard tearing them apart in the centre. I love that long left foot kick. Handball out towards Pound, but Greg got it. She beats Pound. Her eyes light up. She blazes away.
Well done.
Well done by Weston Turner, because it looked like it was going to be a defensive mark, didn't it? Half, and she applied the pressure.
Yeah, Harry Corder is a terrific one-on-one defender. Like, very rarely gets beaten. So just to create a contest there, that's a win as far as I'm concerned for Weston Turner.
The other skipper and Peterson goes long and strong. Edmonds, another inside 50.
Keep it in, Hartwood by herself.
almost Wilcox. She played for a free there. And will be a boundary throw-in.
Put up a little sore.
Yes.
Rightfully so. She's been involved in a few huge moments so far in this game, throwing her body on the line, the smallest player on the field.
It's good to see her getting used. Doesn't usually get used nearly as much as she should, and she's having a cracking game as Carruthers cracks in.
That's a bit reflective of the style the Dogs have played. They've played very straight, and therefore your width players like Wilcox and who's in the other wing at the moment for the Dogs.
Here's a chance for Pritchard on her left. Offline.
Yeah, so if you play with some space and open the game up, you bring those exciting connecting players on the wing into the game. Carlton are a bit similar. Very rarely do they open the ground up and try and change too much shape. So you take out your wingers, and what's the point of having them if you're not going to use them? Because if you can kick in a straight line, we can defend that really easily.
Moody had to get on her bike and spoil Wilcox in the end.
Dogs midfielders are getting really dangerous in the forward half. They're getting on the move. I mean, we just saw Pritchard charge out of the middle and have that shot on goal. And you just think Carlton's midfielders need to find a little bit more body when they're in the contest.
I was desperate from Bree Moody. Great vision as well. Wood goes out of the ruck. Moody's involved. Goes to ground. So does McKay. Edmonds. And it was touched, so it'll be a boundary throw-in. Dee Berry strapped up like a mummy. Clearly carrying a few issues. She's had plenty of injury concerns.
What makes you say that?
That she's had to overcome.
She's used the whole tape budget. 7 games.
There's always one player at every club that uses up the tape budget.
Physio team hate it. Takes them half an hour before each game.
The queue backs up. No one else can get tape.
Forget rubs. Forget rubs. No one's getting rubbed.
Rub yourselves. I'm taping.
Riley Wilcox. Long down the line she goes. Big pack flies. Greg at the back. Tried to do the soccer toe poke. Goes again. Bobbles around in there. Pound was stripped of the footy. Pressure comes. Gone. Free kick to the Doggies. Hartwig pounces. Gets on her left. Sets it up for McKee. Where is the Western Turner? She can soccer it through here. The number 1 draft pick does. She's like a baby giraffe. Skipping away and celebrating with joy, and she's hurt herself in the celebration.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Christy Lee Western Turner.
Oh, well done.
Sarah Hartwig, the lefty.
Well done to bring it in, and just a great contest by McKee. And Western Turner, we spoke about her half. She'll develop as she goes on. You know, only in her first year, she'll develop that body craft. She'll put on a little bit of size, be able to match it, and hopefully read those aerial balls a little bit better. But this is where she stands out.
Oh, wow.
What's happened?
Oh, is it the left knee?
rolled the ankle.
Left ankle.
I think it's the left ankle.
She looks a bit sore, doesn't she? Oh, no. Oh,
no. She's in a world of pain. She's laughing about it.
Can I read her lips then?
Don't lip read, Ruby Schleicher. Please. I've got to remind you sometimes we're on national TV. As the Doggies burst out of the centre again through Pritchard. Go towards Hardwick. Blues defenders under the pump. Gets a little bit of yardage.
So Pritchard's influence is becoming significant. She's had 7 contested possessions, 3 clearances, and most of those this quarter as well. So she's done a hell of a job stepping up.
Love the celebration from Christy Lee. Her 4th goal. This is her first season in the AFLW, still a 19-year-old. Edmonds takes them all on. Ferris with a safe tackle.
Just ice the clock here. If they get a score, magnificent. Just got to make sure Carlton don't, the Doggies.
Good, hacks it out of there. Oh, Wilcox in a tussle with Austin. In fact, it was Carruthers, rather.
To throw it, yeah.
Free kick to the Blues.
Get them all back. Now you can get them all back. 20 seconds to go. Get them all back.
And that's exactly what they do. That's what they did for 4 quarters last week and were heavily criticised. It's been a completely different looking outfit here tonight. The Dogs have come out and fired a couple of shots. They've been fired up during the week in the media. Game plan criticised. Goalless since late September. And what a response. There's a bit of character. There's a bit of resilience, and setting the tone has been the teenagers, the likes of Weston Turner, Wilcox. Grigg's been great. The kids in this first half are going all right.
They absolutely are, and I mean their forwards are just working so hard to create opportunities, and not just through when they've got the ball in offense. Their defensive pressure, really led by Elaine Grigg, has been incredible. It's so exciting to watch. We see the tackles in forward half. The Dogs, 27 tackles in their forward half, so a massive number, and it's creating opportunities for them. Repeat efforts, repeat stoppages, and shots on goal. Really exciting.
Yeah, they're big numbers, 27-11 forward half tackles. Dogs compared to Carlton, 13-2 forward 50. They're getting it in there and they're keeping it in there. It's a very impressive showing. Just a total contrast to last week, Cal.
Yeah, and a tale of 2 captains here.
The Matty Buck, he's not happy.
Yep, so he's out there talking, but their captain, Karen Peterson's gone off with the physio. She's gone into the rooms. So she's got an injury issue, and there she is going down. And the Dogs captain, well, Dee buried it from the top of the goal square with a goal to help give them the lead, and she's with Bryony Dawson.
She's having an absolute ripper game, you're right, Cal. Mate, this is a different Dogs outfit we're seeing on the field tonight. Tell me what the message is from Tam during the week.
I think it's just going back to our footy. Like, I think we have a lot of belief in this group, and knowing the style of footy that we want to play, and obviously coming out tonight, we're confident, we're predictable to one another, and I think it's showing. So I think if we can keep that up for the next 2 quarters, it's going to be an exciting game of footy.
And there was a little criticism during the week, not getting on and not kicking goals over the last few weeks, and then you've absolutely stacked it on today. You got one yourself. It must feel really good.
Yeah, it's great, and I think our forwards are working together, our mids are working, and we're connected as a group, and that's what's going to come if we can stay united, connected across the next 2 quarters. We'll keep caking them on.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Back with a wrap of that first half. There was plenty happening here at IKON Park. Rain stayed away. Abby McKay not having the 50th that she would have liked so far. She's in deep discussions with an unhappy coach. Maddie Buck will be back to wrap up that opening half right after this.
Alrighty then. Mr. Tranquilio. Welcome in, Squire. Welcome into the live chat. Appreciate you coming in. Good to see you. There we go, folks. Western Bulldogs. Well, they are playing, well, the best game of the season they have played yet so far. 4-5. 29 leading the Blue Baggers, 2-4-16. Putting on 2 goals, 5 in that second quarter. The Doggies, wow. Imagine if they had kicked accurate. 2 goals, 5 in that second quarter. The Blues, 1 goal only. There we go. I must say this. The Western Bulldogs, they do look like the team to beat tonight. Just going on, they look a lot more hungry in this match to take victory. But we'll see at the end of the game. Surprisingly enough, because Carlton has more on the line for their season. Remember, Carlton need to win this to keep their season alive. With only about 3 games after this to come, 2 or 3 games, they need to win it. It's do or die for Carlton. So they really need to put in a lot more effort in the second half. And the Dogs are just having a good, red-hard crack go at this game. They just want to win at all costs to get that winning feeling. There we go. Let's go and have a look at this. The players' stats now. Let's go and see who's leading the way on the ground this evening. And, of course, Jessica Fitzgerald still leading the way there for the Bulldogs. 14 disposals, 7-7, 2 marks, 3 tackles. She's kicked to behind. She's having a pretty good game so far. Abby McKay there. Best for the Blues with 13. 4 kicks, 9 handballs. She hasn't grabbed a mark yet. She's had a few tackles. Dominic Carruthers, next best for the Doggies on 12. Isabel Pritchard, 10. Let's just roll down a bit. I should have went to the goal scorers first, but that's okay. We'll head back to the goal scorers in just a moment. Since we've had a few goals kicked this evening, which is great to see. And the doggies have really been struggling in the past weeks to put the majors on the board. As I said, it looks a lot better outfit out there tonight there for the doggies. And great to see the underdogs, pardon the pun, but the underdogs doing really well. Of course, Carlton went into this game as hot favourites. As I said, the Dogs went into this game as underdogs. The goal scorers, all single goal scorers out on the ground tonight. Of course, Heidi Woodley, Lee Weston Turner, Ferrers and Berry are the single goal scorers there for the Dogs. And for Carlton, Shara and Moody, the only goal scorers there for them. The AFL Fantasy Points, if you play along with that game. There we go. Jessica Fitzgerald tops the table there with 55 points. Abby Mackay, 47. Jessica Good, 46. There we go. 45 Carruthers. Pritchard, 43. And the rest all under that. Check out the team stats there. We saw the Western Bulldogs on top at quarter time. They extend that out a little bit in the disposal count by 20 to half time. 16 more kicks. Handballs evening up a little bit. Inside 50s, well, just look at the domination there. 18 to 9. 18 inside 50s for the Dogs now for 9 scoring shots. They've lifted that inside 50 efficiency rate up to 55-6, which is fantastic. Of course, Carlton, 54. 9 inside 50s for 6 scoring shots. 8 free kicks to 5. Let me just put myself on hold there as we go back down for a little bit of analysis with the commentators on the first half.
2 points at quarter time. It is a 13-point lead now to the Bulldogs. Fitzgerald certainly setting the tone early. Great to see her have a really breakout game. And McKay, of course, playing her 50th game, is trying her absolute hardest to drag them back into this. Kelly Underwood alongside Ruby Schleicher. And Ruby, take us through some of the Chemist Warehouse halftime highlights.
Well, there's been a few of them, which is so exciting because after not seeing too many last Friday night by the Dogs, they've come out and they've given us plenty. So we see here they're just trusting their one-on-ones ahead of the ball, which is so good to see. We've got numbers ahead of the ball. They're trusting getting it there, just sending it long, particularly in these conditions. It is wet, the ball is sliding, so bringing it to ground and then allowing their forwards to just get to work. We see this one here from Celine Moody, just getting in the right spot at the right time. She actually wasn't looking. She turned around at the last second to get that one, but Kip Truly as well.
Yeah, there've been a couple of lucky ones really for the Blues, haven't they? But you just look at how these Bulldogs, and this was a bit of a lucky one as well, with some poor defending. But look at how these Bulldogs are using the short kicks to move down the field more rather than just going long to Edmonds, their ruck, and that totally changes the way they look, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And a big point of that is I think they're trying to control the football more as we see this goal from Deanna Berry with the fancy celebration as well. But they're uncontested marks, 19 uncontested marks to Blues 7. So they're really thoughtful in the way they're moving the ball forward. They're not just kicking it long and trying to get numbers there. They're being really thoughtful and trying to use the ball well and then putting speed on it to allow goals like this to Weston Turner over the back and just using her speed to get on the board.
Guerin's been on and off with a bit of an injury concern. She's playing through it. And Karen Peterson at halftime went straight down into the rooms with an injury concern. We'll check in with Bryony right after this. But the Doggies, gee, they've been a lot happier and certainly relieved with this halftime lead, but they've still got 2 more quarters to go. So far, it's their 4th highest score of the season. And quarter 3 and 4 to come.
4th highest score of the season so far, and we're only at halftime. That shows you how good the Doggies are playing. Those commentators will be back in just a moment. Let's just get back to the team stats, disposal efficiency. There we go. The Bulldogs holding it well. As I said, this is probably one of the best games I've seen the Bulldogs play this season. As she said, a little bit more short kicking, a little bit more composure, a little bit more thought about the way they're controlling their possessions, which is good to see. Instead of just grabbing the ball, kicking it without thinking, they're actually trying to find their lead-up targets, making all the difference for the Dogs tonight. 54% for Carlton. As I said, a little bit low. They're still wanting to probably hit that 60% target. Free kicks 8-5. Carlton on top there by 3, but pretty much on season's average of what the umpires are blowing the whistle at. Look at that. The hit-outs all pretty tied up as the clearances, but the Doggies, the centre clearances, just pure domination there. 6-1. And the Blues stoppage clearances around the ground just by a few. Contested possessions all the same, uncontested, 65-50 to the Doggies. As they said, they're looking for their they're looking for their players, taking the shorter option, which is a lot more viable, and they can steadily move it down the ground that way and stay in control. Turnovers 26-23. Not too bad from both sides. Doggies in front, 42 to 40%. Time in possession for the match. As you can see, with that short chipping down the ground, just moving the ball a lot more. The Dogs 22 marks to 7. Marks inside 50. 3 to 2. There we go. Both hitting their targets. They just need to try and hit their target, probably 30 metres out maximum. So it'll give the girls the best chance to get the distance within their kicking range. Tackles 33-38. Both teams tackling pretty well tonight, but they said in the commentary, the Dogs definitely look a lot more hungrier for this game. 13 inside 50 tackles to Carlton's just 2. Some of their work was a little bit sloppy there in defence there, Carlton, and so they need to lift that as well. They just need to be a lot more hungry if they want to get back into this match. There's only 13 points of difference, 2 goals won. That is all. That's a very gettable margin for Carlton. As I said before, Carlton have got everything on the line to play for this evening. Of course, if they lose this, it's lights out. If they win this, the lights still turned on for a slim chance at a finals berth coming up in just a few short weeks' time. But it's a pretty good match so far. Can Carlton come back in the second half? Well, time will tell. Can the Bulldogs keep playing this brand of football? I do like to see the Bulldogs playing this way. It's definitely making them a little bit more successful in their game plan, in their approach. And of course, the results show that tonight, up until half-time, where they've kicked 4 goals, 5 so far. All right, folks, we'll be back in just a moment with the commentators.
So both these sides looking for their maiden finals campaign. Will St Kilda or Port Adelaide advance postseason? It is a significant season shaper. Jessie Wardlaw up one end and Matilda, the high-flying Matilda, up the other end. It's 29-16 here at IKON Park with an injury update. Bryony Dawson.
Oh, yeah, just Chrissy Lee Weston-Turner sort of did something to her ankle in that goal celebration there. I've been told there's no concerns, but I did see her warming up with the team and she was a little ginger, a little lacklustre, so I am going to keep an eye on her this quarter. And Karen Peterson, no issues there. She'll be returning back this quarter.
Okay, it's good information from Bryony down there at Boundary side. The Blues have got some work to do here, Rubes. They're 13 points down. The Dogs have had all the momentum, kicked 4 goals. They haven't done that for so long, it's not funny. How do they get back into this game?
Well, they need to get back to their roots, I'd say half. I mean, we look at the clearance count, they're losing -4, so another one here. So they need to get back to what they're good at, winning the ball at the contest and going from there, because at the moment they're being dispatched in that area.
Good crowd in under the grandstand. No rain for this entire match as the Blues. Will they respond to the fire up from Matthew Buck right on the siren? First inside 50 goes to the Bulldogs. And Berry with the clearance, and now Berry with the intercept mark. And the kick, oh, McKee put her body on the line, had to go, she knew it. Pritchard, Wilcox deserves the goal for the game that she's had. Hasn't quite got enough strength in those hamstrings just yet, Half.
Just yet.
Just
baby
yet.
steps. Baby couple of years in the gym. she'll be right. Just don't Karen Peterson. Heard Bryony say that she'll be back out there. She's starting on the wing. There she is there in screen. She's starting on the wing on Al Bennett's at the moment, so she's moved from defence to the wing.
Well, we know she's carrying a shoulder injury as Bennett sends it closer to goal, and a shove in the back, and the mark's being paid to Cordner. I wonder whether that's a reason for the move, or maybe it's tactical.
She went to the middle of the ground last quarter last week and did a good job. The skipper.
Just a bigger body in there? Is that what he's thinking?
Yeah, possibly. A bit of experience as well. They've got enough big bodies, I reckon.
Yeah.
Experience, poise, perhaps. Bit of a negating mindset, maybe rolling on someone.
And here she is being tackled to the turf.
Bennett's has done a good job for the doggies tonight. She's been running that wing line up and down the ground all night, done a hell of a job. Made some goals, got involved in some scoring chains. So it might be just an option to try and take her out of the contest.
Okay. Hurried kick out of there, and Riley's everywhere. Stabs the pass. It's a good one-on-one contest in the end. Oh, it's stolen. Hacked kick forward. Came from Fitzgerald. Woodley's involved. Hill leaves it. Lawson Tavern. And Finn.
Got out of that one, the Blues. They're under the pump there. Good job to control possession.
Kieran traps it. McKay flares it wide. Finn goes back. Just a high, hopeful kick. Edmonds was there. Couldn't take the mark in the end. Berry's got a pep in her step since she snapped that goal last quarter. And she's able to pinpoint a teammate, Goodnick. McKee's calling for it. Goodnick goes in that direction. She's got front position, almost on Cordner.
It was a good kick to advantage.
It was,
Kick
wasn't
on top of her head, got a chance to move to the ball late.
Now she's in the ruck and a push out. It'll be a free kick to the Blues to Good. So Jess Good, the 30-year-old from Blackwood in Adelaide, former WNBL player. Dogs again with the numbers. Georgia Stathis got rid of it just before she was caught. Squeezing the kick out was Brown. No Blues are there. Bennett swoops. Gorham. Pinpointed Peterson, fumbled it. The captain opens the door here for the doggies. Pound.
She looks sore, Peterson.
Bashes it right to the centre circle, and Gorham again.
Just a wince from Kez going to mark that ball then. You see her now, she's pretty sore, so no wonder they've moved her to the wing, try to get her out of that contact line. But she does look pretty sore.
Shoulder the reason probably for the fumble. Inside 50 go the Dogs again. McKee pressing. Cordner. Good defensive effort. Fitzgerald. Another intercept. Carathas is going to send it inside 50, and too easy for Mimi Hill to pick that off.
Just lacking the poise in that last possession inside 50 at the moment, the Doggies.
Yeah.
They're controlling the game.
Finn out wide. Here's Skepper. Beaten to it by Grant. Short, sharp pass. Here's a chance for their best player. Pritchard lines up. Goes long. I'm not sure what she was thinking in the end.
I reckon she was trying to get at the wood there. Didn't mind the option. Just didn't quite pull it off.
And Brie Moody. Oh, she's had a complete fresh airy. Although it wasn't, because it just grazed the boot and went about a metre. Here's Guerin.
Nothing convincing about the Blues at the moment, is there?
No. Even Guerin, who's had an outstanding season, is kicking it straight to the opposition. Gee, Matty Buck, if he had hair half, you'd know the feeling.
Hey.
As a former Carlton coach with not much hair.
I'm right here. Yeah, he'd be livid with what he's seeing tonight. There's no system at all. The Dogs are taking it away from it, and it's simply because they're not allowed to congest the ground. The Dogs are lengthening the ground, so you've got to defend them. Takes numbers away from the ball for Carlton, which is what they like. It's good footy from the Doggies.
Lawson Tavern under the pump. Tackle. Edmonds asks the question.
Pretty close.
Yes, come on, she says.
The next element for the Dogs is just slowing down that entry inside 50, particularly when Carlton flood their numbers back. They just need to be really selective with those inside balls. Hold it for a second, let the numbers catch up to try and keep it in there.
So free kick for the Blues here. They went backwards. Let's get down to Bryony Dawson for an injury update. We think the Blues can clear it here. Bryony.
Yeah, just a little update on Karen Peterson. I've heard from their team, and they're saying it's more of an abdomen problem that she's having that assessed, and that's why she went down at half-time.
She looked like she was holding some of her hip flexor, Brian, before when she was uncomfortable on the outer half-back flank when Rubes was talking about it. She was just winching and flexing her hip flexor. So that'd be a problem if that's an issue for Kez at the moment. She's got to be under the pump here. She's got to get moving.
She's trying to catch Bennett's Peterson. And Bennett's Hill. Desperate tackle from Hartwig, and the tackle affects the kick. My goodness, they cannot get it over the halfway line, Carlton.
This is where they've got to be a bit more measured, it seems, the Doggies at the moment.
See the inside 50s number, 11-0 this quarter half.
Yeah, it's a demolition at the moment.
Good Nick.
There's nothing to like as a Carlton supporter at the minute.
The Bulldogs of last Friday night. Mimi Hill.
Except for that kick.
Grits the teeth, tries to set something up. Gearin. So they've got the ball in their best player's hands. Little shove by Austin. Now the foot race is on. Brown will get there. Stops, props, comes back inboard to Bree Moody, bangs it long, and there's no one home.
Oh, get a copy of that tape if you ever want to play on the wing. Riley Wilcox was at half forward left in front of us and bolted. As soon as the ball went to the opposition hands, Guerin got the ball. She bolted down to the goal square to save that goal.
McFarlane's given it straight to Bree Moody, and she's given it straight to the opposition. So Georgia Stathis.
The Dogs wingers are what are allowing Bulldogs to play a front half game at the moment. You spoke about it, Wilcox' effort just then to work from half forward to half back. But also Elle Bennett's patrolling the line when there's stoppages in their forward half. Carlton are trying to just bomb it and bomb a corridor, hoping to run numbers onto it. But Elle Bennett's is there and they're kicking it right into her lap, allowing them to go inside forward 50. They're just playing such an integral role to Bulldogs' re-entries inside at the moment.
Look at this, just controlling. Kick mark. Blues can't lay a glove on them. The 12 tackles in the second quarter, the Blues. So the number 2 tackling team in the competition.
Here's a stat for your half.
Yes.
The Dogs had a total of 20 inside 50s last week. They've already had 30.
30's a lot.
Another scrap. Humid conditions. Sweat pouring off the faces of these players. Fitzgerald, clever little tap. Gets it back to Pritchard, squeezes it. Here's Wilcox in the clash. Had to go. Coming the other way was Finn.
Yeah, spot on about the wing rolls here, Rubes. Keeping shape and more importantly, using them.
How many Ks would Riley Wilcox run tonight? What do the wingers do, Rubes? Any idea?
Oh, probably upwards of 10.
I've never seen a player cover so much ground as I've seen Riley Wilcox tonight. Incredible. Hill. Brown. It's all hard here for the Blues. Nothing comes easy. And another turnover. Now, can they finally torch them on the turnover?
So they've got to open the ground up. Can't get all the numbers back in the straight line to goal, which is where this ball's going. It's going to be a challenge for the Doggies to hold on to it.
McFarlane with the kick. Sheriff for the Blues. Can they get on a roll? Gearin flicks it. Miss Celine Moody. Comes back. Fired out of there by McKay. Finn. Wilcox.
Great hand.
Oh, Berry. High ball. Hill. Dropped it. Great little fake. Sold the dummy, did Carruthers. Inside 50. Back out again. Is it going to come back in again? They cannot get a goal for all their inside 50 work here, the Doggies. Look at the pressure. Berry at the back. Blindly bangs it. 2 Blues should be able to win it. Hartwig, can she control it? Oh, Cordner almost decapitated.
A lot of the Blues struggles at the moment are coming off the back of fundamentals. They're just so much more fumbly than the Dogs at the moment. They're getting it in their hands. They're handballing behind teammates. They're not getting the ground ball done. And that can be what can happen when the pressure is so high.
Well done.
Bennett's in a tussle with Anthony. Bennett goes to ground, tries to flick it back to Ferris rather. Mimi Hill, tackle. Look at the Dogs, they just will not get there. We're winning all these one-on-ones. The Energizer Bunny, Grigg, goes again. Fires off a handball to Fitzgerald. Jess Fitzgerald deserves a goal. She's given it straight to the Blues, last line of defence.
Quarters have 9 this quarter. Hills had 7. They're saving the bacon of the Blues at the moment.
Well, they're dropping a spare behind the ball, the Blues, just trying to savour that momentum, trying to take the sting out of it. So whether it's Cordner, whether it's Pound, they're trying to create that spare and not allow those entries or not allow damaging entries.
16-1 inside 50s. Make it 17.
Another intercept. Oh, going back was Gutnick bravely. Gutnick, who suffered so many serious injuries, including a broken leg before. Goodness me. And now Woodley with another tackle. So she almost decapitated the Blues players a few moments ago, Woodley. She's got him with a chopping block. And Heidi's going to go back and have a set shot for a second.
Well, she's up for it. And the Dogs are up for it, aren't they? Saw this ball come in. Great contest from Goodnick. That's brilliant. Creates an opportunity. The Blues are forced to try and get the ball out of defensive 50 nice and quickly. And then we see the pressure again, that forward pressure. Tackles inside forward 50 for the game, for the Doggies.
Well, she played
17-3.
Heidi Woodley played a defensive role on Maddie Gay last week. This afternoon, she's come in and kicked 1 goal.
The Blues have to think their way through this, find the 1v none. There's one in the pocket now. Think about using that, spreading the defence. We can't just keep going down the line. There's options to go short, but again, going down the line.
So Blues by 2 points at quarter time. And it was the Dogs by 13 at half time. And that margin currently 14 points. So what's the inside 50 count again this quarter? They've
17-1.
17-1 for 1 point.
You know what? That's okay. That's perfect. Clearly not perfect, but that's okay because Carlton can't score if the ball's inside your forward 50. And they're doing a great job of locking it in there.
Here goes Woodley again. She's beaten 2 Blues. She's toe poked it into the left forward pocket. Hartwig's there. Look at the pressure from Hartwig. Cordner, every time she touches the Sharon, she loses it.
Yeah, so there's a mechanism breaking down across half forward just outside the arc for the Doggies. There's no doubt about that. But as Rube said before, the Blues have put numbers back now. They're trying to clog the space. So a little bit more composure with that last kick in. Even just look for that extra kick. So that one extra kick once you've got the mark and find a way through.
What I would like to see is Weston Turner. She's off the field at the moment, but when she comes back on, make her that one out in the goal square. She's so creative and fast and a hard matchup. So, and get those entries a little bit longer, maybe to her advantage, and let her try create something at ground level.
Fighting and scrapping. Smith. Oh, that is a great mark. Lawson Tavern.
They are absolutely batting down the hatches here. They've got nothing going for them at the moment, the Blues.
Got the old bagger out, haven't they, Half? They're bagging this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely exactly what they're doing.
Pritchard spins out of trouble and a kick. Oh, McKee fumbles it at the last minute.
And I've got to tell you, it's so impressive to see this from the Western Bulldogs compared to what we saw last week. The contrast is unbelievable. Show these kids that they're talented, encourage them to play the game. This is what we all want to see. Well done. I say well done to them already. It doesn't matter what happens. Well done to them.
Well, they look like they're enjoying themselves as well. They're up and about. They're fighting for each other. The tackle pressure, a lot of that comes off of that, of playing exciting footy.
Yeah, you get energy from that, don't you?
Oh, Grigg has absolutely gone in so hard on Skepper. And it comes out to Pritchard. She deserves one. McKee, the double grabber. Paid.
I reckon she's being held too. We'll see it on the replay. I reckon she might have been getting held too, and she got the free kick if it wasn't her mark. On the tight angle. The banana Rubes.
I'd go the banana.
In and out of the side this year, 4 games. battling to keep her spot in the team.
On the drop punt.
If she can kick this and extend the Bulldogs' lead, she secures her spot in the team for next week.
Well, she's been chipping away, a few big aerial contests. There's been a lot happening, so many entries, and she's had to work so hard. Been getting a lot of ball coming her way, but just not quite been rewarded. Had bodies all over, and we see this one just smart use of the body, 2v1 in the end, and just it was the second effort, the second grab at it that got it done. Gets the Dogs a goal that is much deserved after the effort they have put to keep this in their front half this entire quarter.
See Karen Peterson back out there.
Biggest lead of the night. It's 20 points. What a response. They have responded in the most impressive fashion, the Bulldogs. Gearan. I think she's inspired by the Irish there. I think she actually dropped it and threw a boot at it. Nothing has gone right for the Blues tonight.
So Peterson's gone forward now. She's one of the 3 deep forwards for the Blues at the moment in their setup.
Good and Edmonds. Renew the tussle. Fitzgerald to a one-on-one. Courtner outmuscles Weston Turner. Goss, again a fierce tackle. They've just been suffocated this evening. Or this had hurt if the Blues could get a goal from a rare inside 50 in the final seconds. Velardo picks it up and taking the mark is Skepper. Oh, what a deflating blow for the Bulldogs right on the stroke of three-quarter time. They have dominated the inside 50 count for just 1 goal to their name. And Keely Skepper can make it even Stevens this third term and give them a bit of hope going into three-quarter time. Keeps it low, and it's a low blow for the Dogs. Blues still got a bit of hope.
Well, it definitely is a blow. 18-2 inside 50s, the count is for the quarter. So for the Blues to equal the ledger with a goal apiece coming out of that quarter, it does hurt the Dogs. I mean, the Dogs still have a few goal lead that they're able to maintain, but we see this one here, a couple players, one just had to go for the ball. We've seen Wilcox put her body on the line so often, but just couldn't get to her there, and Skepper did well.
So what was it? 18-2 inside 50
for the quarter, yeah.
And the maths is 1-1 to 1 goal.
So they're in front?
No, 1-1 to the Dogs.
Yeah, 1-1. They're a point in front for the quarter.
For 18-2. Don't you infuriate me in three-quarter time, Daniel Harvard. The Doggies, dare I say it, are in a winning position. And Pritchard, who's been their best player this season, is full of voice and a bit of hope as they dash to the huddle for three-quarter time. 20 degrees in Melbourne and a humid, sticky night. 5-6-36. Carlton 3-4-22.
All right, folks. So the Western Bulldogs win that quarter by a point. 18 inside 50s to Carlton's 2. 2. Wow. Unheard of. I tell you what, it lived in the Western Bulldogs forward 50. But they could only manage 1 goal, 1. Carlton get that late goal. But you know what? It's still going to be hard for the Blue Baggers to come back. It's the Bulldogs by 14 at three-quarter time. Addy G in the house. How you going, brother? Oh, what's happening? Let's have a quick look at these disposal players' stats. Let's who's looking, leading the way, I should say. And Abby Mackay there, 22. Pauline AJ, how you going, brother? Welcome in. What's going on? The Doggies, they're in front. Can you believe it? Tell you what, 22, Abby Mackay. She's having a good one there for, well, the Blue Baggers. Oh, is she a defender? Possibly. There we go. 7, 15 handballs, 4 tackles. Dominique Carruthers tops the table for the Doggies. 19. Mimi Hill there, 17. Actually, let me go and have a look at the goal scorers first, because we had 2 extra goals in that third term. So they're all single goal scorers here so far on the ground. No multiples. Surely we'll get a multiple by the end of the game. Woodley, Lee Weston Turner, McKee, Ferrers, Berry are the goal scorers for the Doggies, and of course Skepper, Shearer and Moody are the goal scorers there for the Blue Baggers. Let's just roll down the player stats there, have a look. Find your player, see who you want to see who's leading the way right there. There, Heidi Woodley, she's kicked 1 goal, 1 of her 9 disposals. All kicks she's had. Let's keep rolling down. Angela McKee, 7 disposal, 4 kicks for the 1 goal. Lee Weston Turner celebrated well. Just came down not quite right on her ankle. Did a little bit of an injury in the celebrations. Can you believe it? She might think next time about the celebrations. Have a look at this disposal count. Wow, it was the Dogs by about 20 at half time. Now the Blues have had more of the ball, but can't do anything with it. They're in front by 11. Inside 50s. Well, have you seen a domination like that before? 36 inside 50s to the Doggies. Of course, they had 18 in the third term for 11 scoring shots. The Carlton, they're just struggling to get it in there. They had it inside 50 twice in the third term. 11 for the match for their 7 scoring shots. Oh, all right, Carlton getting that disposal efficiency back up around the 60% where they need. Doggies at 64. Free kicks, a little bit light on tonight. 11-6. Carlton by 5 in that department. Hit outs, Carlton on top there by 6. Clearance is pretty even. Centre clearances, Doggies dominating. Stoppage clearances, all pretty even. There we go, uncontested possessions. Carlton have lifted their game a little bit, but they just can't get it. They're struggling to get it past forward centre. Let's see what they can do, what they can manage in this final term coming up in just a few moments' time. There's your marks, count, and of course the defence and the defensive tackles, 43-62. Dogs doing it well. They're already past their season average of 61. Of course, tackles inside 50. Fantastic. 19 to the Doggies, just 3 to Carlton. All right, let's get it back here and we'll be set for the final quarter coming up in just a moment. Ryan did his walk live stream today, sunny 24 degrees. Fantastic, nice. It was at 17 degrees here at the moment. She was pretty warm down here in Melbourne too. A little bit overcast, but it was a nice, pleasant, warm afternoon. Looking forward to more warm weather on its way. Well, let me take you back down to the commentators, folks. It's the Bulldogs by 14 going into the final term. Can they hang on, or can the Blue Baggers make a miracle comeback? Let's go down. Check it out.
If you roll your ankle in a celebration.
I hope the coaches don't put a stop to our little competition, Sally of the week. Let's bring in the Blues coach, Matthew Buck, downstairs with Bryony.
Thanks, Cal. Matt, tough day at the office, mate. The Doggies are really bringing the pressure out there for you guys.
Yeah, it's not how we want the game to look, but 3-5, we're still in it. So it's how we play this last quarter now and see if we can't pinch it.
And how do you tackle those inside 50s in that last quarter, 2-18?
Yeah, a bit of overuse around the contest, I think. We need to make some better territory decisions.
And that final message there at 3/4 time, it was stick with it.
Yeah, stick with it. Abby McKay's 50th. It's a big one for us, so let's see if we can give it a shot in the last.
Awesome. Good luck, mate.
Doesn't sound right. The coach of the Blues there, Matty Buck. Very stern face talking to Bridie down the boundary, but they've got some work to do. They've got to kick 3 goals minimum, you think, to win this game. They're going to kick 3 to this point, so it's going to be a challenge. They've got to get more from their leaders. Bree Moody's got to step up in this last quarter, need more from Maddie Guerin. Kelly Shearer's going to have an impact, you'd reckon, if they're going to have any way of winning this game of footy. Once Lily Goss get involved in the cut and thrust of it, it's game on.
Can they storm back into contention, the Blues, and win one for their great young emerging leader in Abby McKay? Georgia Stathis has other ideas. Repels the inside 50. Fitzgerald with the mark. Looking for and finding Austin. Nice little leap over the top.
She's another one that has to step up in this last term for the Blues.
Got promising hands, hasn't she? We just haven't seen too much of it this season. Guerin grits the teeth. Gets it towards Moody. Goss. McKay. Shearer. On the left, hasn't got the distance or the accuracy.
There's numbers and you can almost see the passage of play play and how it should go. But as we spoke about, half the fundamentals at the moment are just they're slowing Blues down by a couple seconds and allowing that pressure to come from the Dogs, making everything so much more difficult.
Bree Moody in the ruck. Haven't seen too much of that this evening. Wins it. Gearin. Still not out of the danger zone here. Oh, lovely mop-up. How good was that? Bursting through was Kimber. And Fitzgerald happy to see it over.
That was terrific.
And that's the difference, isn't it? That's what the Dogs have been able to do more than the Blues, is that really clean pick-up and getting rid of the ball to a teammate in a better position.
Oncoming traffic, yeah, really good.
Replacement player to the Dogs in 2024. Her 9th game. Bennett's out to Pritchard, leading from the front.
She's been awesome.
In the pre-match, Daniel Harford, when we see who do you want to talk about, said Isabel Pritchard is the one, the shining light for the Dogs this year.
Yeah, lots pinned on her and for the future of this Bulldogs lineup, and they can build around a player like Izzy Pritchard. Blackburn's obviously out for the season with that nasty injury. She has to be the one to step up. She's the general. She's playing like it tonight.
Got a bit of blunt about her.
Absolutely she does, yep.
I know it's probably been said before, but the number and the left foot and the way she plays, the presence of mind. McKee fires it out. Hartwig, who's also a lefty, and she slotted it through. Except the umpire says it's been touched, and we might get a score assist involved here.
Oh, she said it herself as well. She pointed to her hand. She knew it was touched off the boot, so don't expect a assist for too long.
The forward line connector. Too honest, Sarah Hartwig. Would you do that, Ruby?
Well, how it's been going this year, you'd almost take a chance and say, oh, no, it wasn't. See if they pull it up.
Let's have a look, see if we can see the touched.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little finger to it.
Meg Robertson got a finger on that. A quiet night for Meg, just the 3 disposals, but that might be one of her most important touches.
Edmonds over the top to the captain in Berry in the pocket. It'll be hard to get it from there, and the mark by Hardwig. See, honesty gets you good places in the end. That's the lesson for the day.
Great karma, Cal. Great call. Karma. Good on her. Well, it was a great tap down to Berry at the stoppage there from Edmonds. That was what set the whole thing up.
Hartwig, second crack at it. For being honest, she gets a major. And the Doggies are threatening to run away with this.
The footy gods looking after her on that one. Well done, Hartwig. As we see the tap down here from Edmonds, just to the clear space, allow their skipper Berry to run onto it, and just a good centering kick from Berry. So clever, top of the goal square to a genuine one-on-one, and Hartwig just able to body out and a pretty easy chest mark in the end and kick truly.
Mentioned her at the start of the call. I think she's a real talent, Sarah Hartwig. Came as an intercept defender from the under-18s. She's played on a wing. Reads the ball so well. A really good one-on-one player. Trying to create an opportunity for the Dogs in their forward 50 to keep her isolated. I reckon it's probably a player they could use in this last quarter against Meg Robertson.
So 6 goals for the Dogs. This is their second highest score for the season so far. Half, don't ask me what their highest score has been, please.
Just about to ask you that.
No, don't ask me.
I'm not going to ask you.
It's a bit awkward.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Looking at you, Slosher.
Yeah, they kicked 9 goals against the Pies.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Early on. Anyway.
We're just dealing facts here, Rubes.
They got their nose in front, and the Dogs, who are trying to win this for Abby McKay, bit of push and shove off the ball. Bree Moody throwing her weight around.
And head over biscuit.
Well, someone's going to do something about this for the Blues. They've got 12 minutes to kick 4.
Margin 21. Quick little handball to McKay. Squeezes it. Peterson forced to tackle. Of course, no Darcy Vesio. They were a late withdrawal because of delayed concussion symptoms. So Amelia Velado came into this side. Pritchard goes down by Celine Dion tackle. Celine Dion. Celine Mooney. Well, now that'd be a good call, wouldn't it? Sorry, look, I've got the binoculars on from a distance here, huh? Celine Dion. I know that my heart will go on.
Oh, that's so good.
Edmonds. Bennett's. Don't set me off, come on. It's been a long season. The compressed fixture hasn't just had the players tiring. Commentators are losing the plot. It's official. Greg goes back to Woodley. Woodley's been impressive tonight, Ruby.
Don't try and straighten us up.
You know who else has? Celine Dion.
Don't back over it, Ruby. Come on.
It's a natural progression of Celine, isn't it?
It is. No, there's been a lot of impressive doggies. I feel, honestly, everyone has been, or pretty much everyone has been a contributor across the ground. So important. We spoke about the wings and how important they are to the way the dogs are playing at the moment and to play a forward half game, but their forwards are working so hard defensively.
Here's a chance. Oh, McKay. Brutal. Absolutely brutal from Maggie Gorham.
And it's those kind of moments, just coming forward and making sure if Carlton want to go through us, they really have to go through us and just sticking their moments that they have to stick.
That just sums up the night. In that 2 seconds of play, Abby McKay in her milestone, trying to break clear, running into a brick wall. Fitzgerald sets it up for Edmonds, who's grabbing at her left foot or her left ankle. Hope that's not too serious. She's in pain behind play. Meanwhile, Guerin tucks it under her arm, sends it inside 50, and Izzy Grant takes the mark.
They have to stop the game here, I think, for Edmonds. The trainers are waiting feverishly.
What were we just saying about the footy gods finally smiling on them? They've already missing their former captain and champion player, Ellie Blackburn, with a lower leg injury or a foot injury.
She's looking sore.
And now Edmonds, who's really pushed her case for All Australia in the last couple of seasons, is in all sorts of pain.
Edmonds. Annalie McKee's probably the one that's going to have to do some work in the ruck. If you just look from a coaching perspective and a structural magnet board perspective at the moment, she's the one that's going to probably have to fill that void of Alice Edmonds. I don't think she'll be taking too much further part in the contest. Just hoping that it's an ankle. We'll get a bit of a look at this on the replay shortly. Goes up. Keeping on that left ankle, I reckon. Oh, it's just a roll. Well, it's not just a roll, but it's not a knee, it looks like. It's a nasty roll.
Yep.
It's interesting. Lily Goss had a very similar incident last week against Fremantle and came off really in pain. A similar result she played this week, so hopefully that's not going to be too bad for Alice Edmonds. Just a nasty roll on that left ankle.
Now, this is something that kills me at IKON Park, because if she has to go down to the rooms is on the far side of the ground. She needs to come all the way across to broadcast side, through the gates to then walk around the boundary to the rooms, unless she goes into Blues home rooms. So at the moment, the away team is across in that building. You can see there on the screen. Yeah. So if they were to take her, and she looks like she's moving better now, which is good, but it can be an absolute killer. It happened to Bree Davey when she did her knee here a few years ago, and it's disappointing.
I think they might have moved the rooms down to the ones closest to the bench, maybe.
I hope so.
Opposition teams have been running out of it a couple of times this year for the games that we've been covering.
Just while we've got a break in play, your captain, Bree Davey, out for the rest of the season. The news late today. What's happened?
Yeah, disappointing. Just a bit of stress on her shin, so she just hasn't been able to have a clear run at a breezer. We'll absolutely miss her, but we got to celebrate her 50th game last year, which I'm glad we got to hit that this season at least.
Yeah, not last year. Last week against Port Adelaide.
Last week.
Just can't get a clear run at it, can she?
No, she can't. Not this season anyway, but she'll work at it, and hopefully we see a fit and firing breezer next year. It's so important for the competition.
We wish Alice all the best of luck as well, because this is a team that relies on her so much. So much.
Yeah, Georgia Bulldogs out with a knee. the other ruck stocks for the Dogs. So Alice is out for a period of time, and a couple of weeks remaining, albeit. It's going to put a bit of a stretch in their talls. One of their talls are wearing navy this evening. The other tall they had, Celine Moody.
Yep. Kicked a goal against her former team earlier. Hill. How many times have we said that? The Blues players kicking to the opposition. Chance for Robertson.
It's a great decision to make now for Carlton. Do you be prepared to lose by 8 goals and win, or do you just try and minimise the damage? They're going to kick 4 goals in 8.5 minutes.
Woodley sets it up to Pritchard! She's been the best player all night, and now she's got a chance to finish off her fantastic evening with a major to her name.
Fitzgerald just trying to help her out with the calf cramp there. Just helping her teammate out. That's because Deanna Berry uses up all the physio's time on the strapping pre-game, so she couldn't get her calves rubbed out. The teammate thought she'd help her out there, but just a great grab. I mean, Pritchard coming out of the goal square, pretty hard to stop. She's a big body, clever ball user, reads it really well.
And a big night.
She's had a huge night. Izzy. It's there. She's had the Blues dizzy tonight. The most exciting player on the park.
Look at everyone get to her as well. They absolutely love her at the Dogs, and you can see why. She is just a heart and soul player, tries her heart out day in, day out. So well done. She's been doing it all for the Dogs today. Her defensive efforts have been there. Her contested work, majority of her possessions contested, and just there flying to, as we see her ringing the bell.
Good on her. She deserves it. She's had a great night.
We'll have to ask her. I need to get hold of her after the game, and we can ask her, Ruby.
Absolutely. That'll be Bryony's job.
Got a feeling she might be prominent in the interview.
I think we're dishing out the Harvey Norman player of the match tonight.
Ruby's in charge of that, so we'll see what happens.
Ruby selects it. Okay. Nice little handball from you, half. Fitzgerald, Georgia Stathis. Hard to pick a player from the Bulldogs that's had an off night, really, isn't it? They've all been on. In all the one-on-one contests, they've won the most of the night. Bennett's, oh, look at this lovely, exquisite piece of play. Hartwick couldn't take the mark in the end because Fitzgerald made it a contest. Robertson fires it out. Ortlip.
Open side.
Gearing. Straight down the centre.
Get it open.
Cordner.
Skipper's by herself.
Hill.
Too late.
Over the top. Here's Kimber. Oh, she overruns it. Chance for Peterson. Stands her ground. Back to Skepper, who's caught. Gets a kick away. It's still a live ball. Austin's there. Flicked back in by Cordner. It was a desperate act by the defender.
So last weekend's Fremantle in the last quarter, when they needed to win the game, the Blues would move the ball back through the corridor to open side as often as they could. And it caught Fremantle on the hop a lot. They're able to get some really good flow into their movement. We haven't seen that tonight, and that's an opportunity when you're 3 or 4 goals down. What's to lose? What's to lose here to try and play that brand of footy and make the Dogs defend you?
So Harriet Cordner's gone up forward, has she?
Yep.
Okay.
Good was forward as well a second ago. So
4 goals in her 56 games. Can she give them something late? Kimber, a nice little push off of the Blues player and allows Wilcox to grubber it up in front of Grigg. Picks it up under pressure. Good Shepherd. Oh, that's a risky tackle. Closing late across the legs of Grigg.
Just got confirmation from the Blues camp, so the away rooms have been moved now to the interchange. So when we played here a couple of weeks ago, they were across the road, so good to see them move back bench side.
All over it, Ruby.
having said that, if it was a Carlton player, the scenario you talked about would have applied. They would have had to come to the bench if they wanted to come back on the ground at some stage through the game and then go back around to the rooms. By the way, not very efficient.
Pritchard, Georgie Stathis. 5 minutes to play. Bulldogs fans, stick with us because players will enjoy this final siren. As Woodley almost gives the Blues bench a hug.
And I don't think it's a matter of the bench. I think it's a matter of maybe adjusting the rule that when there's an injured player, allowing them to go over the boundary, their closest boundary, because it's going to get the play moving quicker.
Yep.
Allow a number to get on, they're off the boundary, accept that, and get the ball going rather than waiting for them to come from the far side of the ground through the gates.
They do that in rugby and soccer.
Oh, Grigg with a hip and shoulder. And she might have hurt McKay, I think it was. Bit of push and shove still going. Competitive right to the end. Cordner, Brown, snap, needs a kind bounce and gets one.
Well, one thing Tani Brown brings to this team is elite ground level skills. She's low to the ground anyway, Tani Brown. She's only a little thing, but her ability to pick the ball up really low and change direction, her agility at ground level, it really comes to show, and we saw it there. Her ability, to pick it up, turn around onto her favoured side really quickly and get it on the boot. We spoke about the conditions. The ball, pretty wet night, is gonna slide through, so she's done well there.
4 goals in 4 minutes for the Blues.
And they've had 4 goals in 4 quarters so far.
Goss, McKay, Guerin, Celine Moody in the ruck. Breed's gone forward. Mia Austin's forward. Skepper, Brown, Ortlep, the forward players at the moment for the Blues. Get them up. I'd be getting their forward line up, half forwards up. Try and create space for 2 or 3.
Moody slaps it. Straight down to Fitzgerald. Little knockdown by Berry. Tackle applied by Woodley, and then Pounds tackled to the turf by Wilcox.
So the Blues playing with 6 forwards at the moment, just trying to get that out number, try win it straight out of centre bounce. They're happy to leave an out number in the contest, or even in the forward 50 even. Just trying to win the game at the moment.
Woodley's in the goal square.
So the Blues have numbered that off, made it 6-3-6 now. That was 6-3-5 in attack there, the Blues for a second, but the Doggies have worked that out.
Bobbles around in there. Grigg almost kicking in danger. Out to Celine Moody on all fours. Couldn't control it. Bilardo lost it. Ferris delivers. Knocked down by Fitzgerald. Chance here for the Dogs. Berry goes very close, and in the end, it's finished off by Hartwig. Hartwig's got 2. They went around it the long way, but it's their 7th goal of the night, and that's all Tamara Hart will care about.
It's a great performance. Great performance. Their ground ball work and ground level work's been really good tonight. The Doggies. You see a little fumble here from Berry, but quick enough to get back onto it and get it back to the top of the square. Should have been thinking that was half a chance off the boot, but they had the representation. 3v2, you can see there. That helps. So those in the Blues, but the extra was sitting out the top end of the goal square. So if you're going to defend those moments, you can't impact and kill that ball. You've got a spare player sitting out top of the goal square. That is a dangerous position to find yourself in as a defender for the Blues.
So Sarah Hartwig, the only multiple goal kicker out there, and she's kicked both of them in this last quarter, and they have now moved to 8 goals for the night. So we said earlier their biggest score for the season, 9-3-57. So after going goalless back-to-back, they're a couple of minutes away from scoring their highest score for the season. What a response that would be. Fitzgerald grubbers it. Bilardo misses it. So too does Hartwig. Smith goes in hard. Squirts out to Carruthers. Oh no, Bilardo again. There is some tired bodies out there. Guerin rarely fumbles. Grant, Cordner, charges, no one inside 50 for them. And she's been impressive down back. Kaylee Kimber, out to Wilcox. Riley, she's been everywhere tonight. Loops it back in. Pritchard. Smith, over the top. Berry. She's got Grigg over the top, who can run in for an open goal, and the Bulldogs have kicked their highest score for the season.
You said it, Kel. What a response from last week's game, or the last 2 weeks going goalless, to now kick their highest score of the season. And it's a matter of these moments. It's their ability to win their one-on-ones around the ground. They moved that ball from D50 to Elaine Grigg having a pressureless shot on goal. And it was just well done. It was just through getting the ball to ground. We saw Wilcox involved, just getting it to the advantage, keeping the ball moving forward, keeping it in play. Jazz Smith, a big effort to keep her feet in a marking contest, keep the ball moving to Deanna Berry, who laced out Grigg. Really well done, and way better. An exciting brand of footy the Doggies are playing tonight, Huff.
So much better. So much better, Rubes. It's great to watch and see the contrast from last week. We've all talked about that. But they've attacked the game tonight and they've got reward for it. And the Blues have been found wanting a bit, which I'm a bit surprised at. The way they play with contest and the heat they put on the ball and the way they can work from stoppage, the Dogs haven't allowed them any chances to do that tonight.
Well, from a Blues perspective, I mean, how do you scout the Dogs when you watch a game like last week? Honestly, how do you scout them? How do you know what they're going to attack and want to play like after a game like last week? You kind of come in unpredictable after a game like that of how they're going to want to move the ball. You can look at prior games, but I mean, this is probably the best game we've seen of the Dogs this season.
We go back to the games against Collingwood and Sydney, I reckon, and the way they played those. It was fierce pressure and they got the ball forward. Wasn't quite as methodical as we've seen tonight, but that's what they did. And you had to think that they wouldn't do it again, what they put out there last week against the Bombers.
And a cheerio to Nick Del Santo, a Fox Footy colleague, who's probably the nervous person in the AFLW right now, because guess who the Doggies get next week? St Kilda. So the Saints have got Port Adelaide tomorrow night. Both those teams desperately trying to make finals for the very first time. And then these unpredictable Dogs come up against Dow Saints in Ballarat next Sunday afternoon.
A couple of 8-pointers for the Saints coming up.
Yes. Indeed. Blues by 2 at quarter time, Dogs by 13 at half time, by 14 at 3/4 time. They prevail by 33, and the Dogs silence their critics. The young pups were released from the kennel this week, and they loved playing with freedom and flair.
Well, we see Weston Turner just hobbling along. I mean, she's hobbling to the far side of the ground, which is hilarious. So wait for him to come over to you. But really, really well done by the Dogs. A really well-deserved win. I think the Blues were pretty much stunned all game, but so well done. And you actually just hope, as we see Alice Edmonds there, with that pretty sore ankle, we think it is. We hope she's okay, and you'd assume she'll go for a scan and suss out what that is. But we also hope Weston Turner's nothing serious and just a sprain as well, after seeing her celebrate that goal in style.
It's a huge result. And it's good for footy, because what it says is you can play a brand of footy and put pressure on opposition and hit the scoreboard and showcase your talent and trust your players. And that's what I take out of this, I must admit. Trusting the players, give them a platform to execute skill, to execute plan, and show everyone in the AFLW community what they are capable of. We've seen that tonight. So that's a really positive message, I think, going forward for all the players and all the teams, and let them showcase their talents. Give them a chance. Like, it's the total flip side for the Blues, and we'll talk about them shortly, but celebrate what the Dogs have been able to do.
Is that her ankle again?
She's jumping around like a mad
She
one.
is, isn't she? Look at little Joey out there. All right, our Harvey Norman player of the match. She had the celebration, Christy Lee, but the player of the match is Izzy Pritchard, standing by with Bryony.
Izzy Pritchard, you are our Harvey Norman player of the match and a winner of a $500 gift card, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's nice.
Mate, you guys absolutely came out to play a game of footy tonight. Your tackle pressure was amazing. Your defence was great. You did a really good job tonight.
Yeah, it was really good to see. I think our pressure was what really held us there. Like, we were just hot on the contest the entire game, and I think we built into it, which was really nice.
And your tackles, you 63 to 87, you guys winning that inside 50s of 20 to 42. You just absolutely dominated all over the ground.
Yeah, I think we held structure really well, and I think our defence held up really, really well. And like, it was good. The ball would just rebound straight back in every time they kicked it out of our 50. So it was really good to hold it there for long periods of time.
And it must be nice to get the win this week after a couple of comments of the gameplay during the week.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, I think we kicked how many goals? 7 or 8 or something like that, which we've, I think it shows that we really can put pressure on the scoreboard and hit it. And I think that, like, when we're at our best, we're pretty unstoppable. So it's really good.
Congratulations, well done.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Bryony. And we see the selfie there from the Dogs, and they're all going, we can't do it without Pritch. Are you kidding me? So joins them in, and half, if you're Tam Hyatt, that's the response, that you want after the week that Tam's had, but the response you want to see from your players as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't imagine she could be any prouder of this group, what they've been able to produce tonight. Carlton are a tough team to play. You know that. The competition knows that. They're a tough team to play. Hasn't been their year to date, and they'll be disappointed with tonight, but it's a great response.
Bryony's run and run all day. She's the smallest player out there, and she said, I'll carry you. Seriously.
Surely there's someone else that, although McKee's the one. Get on the back of McKee. Can't do it with Edmonds because she's cooked.
Needs Ellie Blackburn's scooter.
Ellie McKee's first win, looks like. She's in the middle of the circle there, waiting to get showered.
All right, folks, there we go. The Dogs did it. They did it. 4 goals, 1 in that final term to Carlton's 1 goal. It was the Dogs by 33 points here, 9-7-61, defeating Carlton 4-4-28. It was definitely a different team. Out on the park tonight were the Western Bulldogs, kicking their highest score for the season. Well done. Certainly a group of happy players out there after the match singing that song. Carlton, they'll go home with their tail between their legs, but the doggies barking loud tonight. Whew, what a game. All right, folks, thanks everyone for coming in. That is all I got for this one. We had a little bit of a look at the player stats and, of course, the team stats. And there we go. The Dogs, 2 goals in the first quarter, 2 goals in the second quarter, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth. They were good. They were consistent. Definitely a lot better brand of football. Carlton need to reassess for next week. All right, folks. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. Thanks, Noel, Mr. T, Paul, Ebony, Tine, Addie, Ryan, everyone that came on in the live chat. And, of course, before I go, we had the poll who's going to win today's game. Of course, we didn't quite get this one right today. We had Carlton 58%. For who was going to win was the vote. As I said, Carlton went into this game pretty short favourites against the Western Bulldogs. But it was the Western Bulldogs who looked like they were definitely the favourite team out there playing. All right, guys. That's all I've got for this one. I said thanks all for coming in. AFLW action here this evening. Great to get back to the football. We might do it again tomorrow night for the next game of AFLW. And of course, that match tomorrow night is Port Adelaide taking on St Kilda, 7:45 p.m. Melbourne time. Should be another good game coming up your way. All right, folks, that's all I got for this one. Thanks a lot. Till next time, ciao for now. We'll see you the next game.